listening to the Freedom Army Radio.
Welcome to another episode of the Writers Guild. I'm your host, Captain Manimal. And today I titled this episode, Welcome to the Rebellion. And I just want to start off by letting you all know I have no guest tonight. It's just me, all alone. No grok. Just me and my ideas. And let me tell you something. I got a bad feeling about this. I'm not holding anything back. I'm not here to be a nice guy. Okay? I'm not here to be some weak beta bitch. I'm going to lay down the truth like a true alpha asshole. The topic of discussion tonight is the bullshit that's going on in our country, from the weak job market to the lame-ass housing situation to the corrupt government debacle and all the elbows-up retards that currently run the shit show of a nation we call Canada. In Canada, we call ourselves the true, the strong, and the free. But I dare you to point out any political leader in any real position of power who properly represents these values. The Liberals have been in power for over a decade, and the country is in shambles. They pay hundreds of millions of dollars to spread lies in the fucking media. They act like weak socialist pussies. They run a regime of oppression that keeps nearly every Canadian locked in an endless cycle of debt, slavery, and corporate corruption. Justin Trudeau made his career by riding Klaus Schwab's tiny cock and sucking the teat of his globalist masters. Mark Carney made his career as a bank snake before fucking up England's economy, and now he's here to do the same to ours. He's had a year in power so far. He's been in power a year in this country, and absolutely nothing is better. So I ask you, where are our true Canadian leaders? The best thing I've ever seen in my life was the convoy. And those that organized it are true Canadian heroes. But what did our government do to them? Froze their bank accounts, locked their asses up, treated them like garbage, like Nazis. This is exactly the type of thing communists do, not Canadians. Let's take a second to look a little closer at the corruption, shall we? The housing market scandal has been a long-running scam for decades. It wasn't long ago that a single person could work just about any job and afford a home, a car, and support their whole family. I worked like a dog for years, so where the fuck is my house? Where the fuck is my car? Where the fuck are my kids and my wife? Oh, that's right. I was never going to be able to afford that in this country. And if you're some boomer that doesn't understand the modern era, you might say something dumb like, oh, well, you didn't work hard enough, son. First off, fuck you. Secondly, let me tell you something, bub. My first job was Walmart, okay? One of the biggest companies in the world. I showed up there all bushy-tailed and bright-eyed, ready to work hard and be the best fucking employee I can be. The first person I met was an older lady with a 10-year badge, proudly displayed on her blue vest. I said, wow. You must make a pretty good wage after 10 years. She laughed and said, I made more than she does. Make some fucking sense of that, please. I bet you can't. They work you like a dog and expect you to literally cheer every fucking morning for a measly 10 cents a year. Well, you know what? Any economist can tell you this does not outweigh taxes and inflation. They torture you forever in minimum wage hell. Hard work used to mean something. But if you want to make money in this world now, well, brother, you better work fucking smart. I knew right away I was in a dead-end trap. And I'd bet my left testicle that you are too. Now sure, you could say, oh well, it's been worse. It's been worse before, but that doesn't make it good now, does it? That doesn't give me hope for a future when I know I've been priced out of fucking having one. The Canadian job market is the nicest form of slavery in the world. If they pay you any less, brother, you wouldn't have enough money to come back. Is that freedom? Is that opportunity? Is that fair? Fuck no! The sad truth is, we all have plenty of money in our paychecks, but not when you factor in the cost of housing, cost of living. Don't believe me? Let's check the fucking numbers then, bitch. Back then, minimum wage was like $8 an hour, okay? And the cost of just a single bed apartment would have run you like $800. After taxes, your take home is probably around $1,000 if you're lucky to get full-time hours, even with full-time status. I don't know who else has been through that hell. Oh, and if you complain at Walmart at least, they'll just fire you because they don't believe in unions. And they can just fuck you around like that. 80% of my income went to the roof over my head. I mean, honestly, what is the carrot? What is that carrot at the end of that stick they beat you with? What is the incentive to give a shit at all? Don't tell me it's a pension and benefits. Fuck that. By the time you're 75, you're going to be so broken down and soulless from a life of mundane, anxiety-driving slave labor that you won't want your golden years. You're going to have one foot in the grave, brother, and one stuck up your fucking own ass. So who do we blame, I ask you? The companies, the job market at large, global economy, the government? Yeah, I guess you could. But would it change anything? No. Perhaps the person I should be blaming is actually you. Yeah, that's right. You, motherfucker. I'm talking to you. Canadians as a whole are complacent and pacified sheep that love the fence shepherds herd them into. You don't realize the safe cell that you frolic around in is situated beside the fucking slaughterhouse. You have become so dumbed down by the media and by social expectations from safety and comfort that you forgot what it means to be free. Freedom requires calculated risk. It requires critical thought and the balls to take on great challenges. It is much better to die on your feet than beg for death on your knees. But you wouldn't know too much about that, would you? And if you think that's not you, then let me ask you this, brother. What in the hell are you doing to change it? Don't give me some bullshit excuse like, oh, well, I got bills to pay. You know, I'm tired, I don't have much time in the day. No, you don't work 24 hours a day, okay? You have enough time in this life, despite it all, to organize some form of resistance. 'Tis your duty. You ever heard that story about two mice fell into a bucket of cream? The first mouse gave up and drowned like a little pussy liberal bitch. He must have been used to fairy tales and handouts. That other mouse, however, swam like hell, kicked his little legs, and he churned that cream into butter. And that motherfucker walked out. Are you that first mouse, or are you that second mouse? All I'm saying is it's never too late to fight back. And once you give up, well, then it is. Look, man, I'm not here to bitch you out. And I truly want to motivate you. Not trying to be a negative Nelly. I want you to seize the day and build your life into something great. Not the fake dream of home ownership or a 401 account. Maybe together we can break these boundaries and shatter the walls that confine us. It's time to stop being the slave. Start being the rebel. So what does rebellion look like, I ask you? Well, I'll tell you. I think it starts by establishing universal values and fighting like hell for them. It doesn't matter if you're Canadian or not, okay? Every human being's values are based in family, faith, and the future of our kids. We are social creatures and we thrive when we work together. The system would have you working alone for the man, for Uncle Sam. Not for yourself, not for your family, not for your future. You are a pawn in someone else's game. But let me tell you something, brother. Even a pawn can checkmate. It's time to build a culture that actually cares instead of a corporation that divides and conquers. The truth is, the planet has plentiful resources for everyone to live a gainful life. But the problem is the distribution of these resources. Food, water, shelter. It's something nature already provides. And yet 10,000 children die every fucking day of starvation on this planet. This is an unnatural and unnecessary waste of life. Waste of potential. How many future Teslas and Einsteins have already died because of starvation? So hear me out. I propose a radical solution. One that does not require a violent revolution. I propose a peaceful rebellion. Yes. One, you would not need to burn down government buildings. We don't need to set fire to cars in the street or block the roads. We don't need to hurt anyone. Personally, I believe we can simply ignore the incompetent leaders of the day and build the life that values our humanity. In Canada, especially, we have thousands of lakes, land, resources, enough for everyone, and yet we are all stuck in cities, decaying like rats in a cage. A couple hundred years ago, man, real men and women would have laughed at the conditions in our cities and towns. They would have asked, why do you all live on top of each other when there's so much untouched land free for the taking? Well, it's a complex issue, no doubt. We'd have to tell them, listen, we have this government who owns all the land and does not allow us to take our family and go live the life we want to and embrace the values that we care about. Instead, we are forced to eat propaganda and beaten into compliance by oppressive legislation and endless government fucking failures. We are controlled because the government has instilled a sense of fear of freedom in us. Man, the average Canadian doesn't want freedom. They don't even understand what it is, I don't think. We think freedom means blue jeans and Netflix, fast food, and free healthcare. Let me tell you something. Nothing in this life is free. Your safety is never guaranteed. You took a risk when you came screaming into this world. If you want freedom, you will have to sacrifice for it. You will have to fight for it. You'll have to give up some comfort or stay forever safe in your cell. Freedom is about choice. And this is always your choice, to live free or die comfortably. So I ask you again, are you that first mouse or are you that second mouse? Are you the prey or the predator? Do you truly want to be free? If so, do you possess the Constitution to take it as far as needed? So let's get straight down to business here. Just what the fuck am I talking about? What am I going on about here? What does this rebellion I speak of truly look like? If it's not violent, then how do we go about changing our environment? How do we go about changing the laws if we can't vote our way out of this mess? I will tell you. We protest. Permanently. Not on the streets of our cities, but where the government won't even notice. The land. And we have so much of it. So many lakes. So many forests. So much food. So much potential shelter. So much water. Life is simple, my friends. Food, water, and shelter. If you have these things figured out, there's nothing stopping us from building a beautiful culture around family, friendship, and shared values. Listen, hear me out. The Romans didn't just rule, they crushed. They built aqueducts and roads, sure, but every brick of society was laid on the backs of slaves, every law written in blood. Taxes bled families dry. Legions marched into villages, took sons for cannon fodder, daughters for pleasure. No mercy, no voice, just obedience or death. But you know what? Some said no. Not with swords at first. Just with feet. They slipped away at night into the scrub, the hills, the wild places Rome called barbaric. But they weren't cowards. They were just survivors. They shed the toga like a skin, grew beards, learned the land's heartbeat, how to hunt, how to forage, how to share, how to live without a senate breathing down their necks. Out there, in their freedom, they built something Rome never understood. Tribes. Not empires. Not hierarchies. Just people. Fierce. Loyal. Free. They told stories around campfires. Not in marble halls. They judged leaders by courage, not coin. And slowly, oh so slowly they grew. They built their culture. Not by conquest, but by example. Word spread. Beyond the walls, there's life without chains, and more slipped out to find it. More followed, and the empire's edges began to fray. Then came the reckoning. Those tribes, the Goths, the Vandals, the Franks, they didn't storm Rome for gold. They stormed it because Rome had forgotten what it meant to be human. They weren't invaders. They were the answer. The answer to every whip crack, every forced tribute, every hollow piece Rome sold. They tore down walls not with rage, but with the quiet certainty that no one should kneel forever. And when the last legion fell, when the forum echoed empty, Rome didn't die from barbarian hordes. It died from its own weight. From the lie that power equals right. Those who fled, they weren't destroyers. They were the proof. Freedom isn't given, it's taken. It's lived. And once tasted, no empire can hold it back. History is not written by victors. It's written by those who refuse to break. Today, the modern era has so many tools and technologies which would make living the good life free on the land we were born easier than ever. I myself can vouch. I lived homeless in the bush for nearly a year. when society pushed me to the brink of collapse, when I could no longer sustain a rent payment during the great government lockdown of the COVID era, I fled to my freedom. I learned that it is extremely cheap to provide food, water, shelter, and even power. Free in the bush, free on the land I was born. I did this alone, yet imagined the wonders life could offer if only I had a tribe. Humans thrive when we work together, and together we could build a culture that cares, culture that sustains and evolves, free of the oppression of this corrupt government and the broken global economy that serves only to strip the wealth of every hard-working, tax-paying Canadian. So if you value comfort over freedom, then you can stay in your fucking cell, where you might be safe for some time. Or you can rise up, live for the now, work for your family, honor your culture, and build the rebellion that can last forever. Do or do not. There is no try.